Salutations everybody, this is IgbarVonSquid making a splash, and this is an update video. But with a twist, because this time I won't be making excuses followed by promises I won't keep. This time I'm here to explain the mistakes I kept making every time I wanted to try and work on the channel again. This might just go over the heads of a lot of you, but I'm hoping some of this advice might actually stick and help you out on your problems in life. But even if it doesn't, it at least helps me to finally put the pen to paper on my mistakes. So starting off with lesson 1, don't talk about your goals. There's a fantastic TED Talk by Derek Sivers about this called Keep Your Goals to Yourself. And this is how you know that I'm super serious this time, because I'm quoting a TED Talk and that is the height of sophistication. Anyway, here's the problem. If you have a good goal or idea and share that with other people, you'll get all that positive feedback with none of the actual work done. And that really cuts into your motivation because you've already received your happy chemicals without having done anything at all. This is by far the most crippling mistake that I made over and over. I'd say, hey guys, I'm gonna upload videos again, and then you'd all go, hey, that's great, looking forward to it, and then nothing. Just by making that one video announcing that I'm making videos again, I get all the happy chemicals in the world, and then I don't have to touch the channel for another 2 years. Every single time. So for those of you watching at home, take this one to heart. This applies to literally everything in your life. Do you want to get back in shape? Then stop moving your lips and start moving those hips. Telling people you're going to work out doesn't mean you're actually working out. So shut the hell up and hit the gym. That is what will give you the results you want. The only time you should ever tell someone your goals or ideas is if you need actual, genuine feedback. Just be really careful about who you ask and how you ask. Lesson 2. Everything is harder and takes longer than you think it does. Over the past 2 years since the last update, I've tried several times to make tutorial videos, and every time I get crushed by the amount of work it actually takes. Do not underestimate how much time and effort goes into making any kind of content. Being creative is hard and takes genuine dedication. For anyone that had the misfortune of seeing the last update video from 2 years ago, you might remember that I said something like I'd be uploading every 2 weeks, I think? Well, obviously, that didn't happen because that shit is hard. Also, I hated that video so much I unlisted it because of how many promises I made that just never happened. Except for that one where I said I'd use Twitter more, that one actually kinda worked out. I'd also like to take this chance to immortalize this comment for the straight facts it do be spittin' right now. Anyway, there's actually an entire school of thought in business that's similar to this lesson, which is to underpromise and overdeliver. If you think something should only take a month to complete, just say it'll take 2 months. That way, even if something comes up and it takes you twice as long as you first thought, you still meet the deadline you promised. Of course, my ultimate advice is to never promise anything in the first place, but that can't always be avoided. Lesson 3. Perfection is poison. This came up a lot whenever I tried to do any kind of informative type of video, again, like a tutorial. Being wrong on the internet is of course the greatest of all crimes, so I'd try really hard to make sure I was covering all the information possible. But that's just not practical, so I'd burn myself out on it and just give up. Which is just terrible, especially when you consider that the information will eventually become outdated anyway, so it feels even stupider to spend so much effort trying to be perfect. So just accept that your work is going to suck a little bit, because it's better than it not being finished at all. And the final lesson 4, be aware of why you make something and how that might affect how you feel about it. This one is kind of a recent discovery of mine, so just bear with me a little bit on this. Making YouTube videos just to be YouTube famous is a waste of time and the quickest way to burn out. But making videos because it's something you just want to do will feel way more rewarding. Take a look at this video. With that amount of views, it's easy for me to just write it off as a flop, but I don't really feel that way because I think it's one of the best videos I've ever made. I could watch this every day for the rest of my life and I would never really get tired of it. It doesn't matter that it didn't get popular, it's good enough for me. That kind of sentiment is what you should really be pursuing. To put it another way, you can't always control the outcome, but you can control how you feel about it. So, play to that strength. So, in conclusion, okay, you're saying, but what does this mean for the future of IgbarVonSquid? Well, remember lesson 1, simply put, I'm not going to fucking tell you. what I plan to do, and what I want out of this channel is my own goddamn business. What I will tell you though is that I'm thinking about this channel near constantly. I don't like to let it idle for months on end, and I feel guilty whenever I let that happen. As much as I'd like to be constantly putting out videos, that's simply just not practical for me. I'm not the 15-year-old kid who can just afford to sit at home and play Minecraft all day anymore. I've got shit to do. Hopefully, and by God, this is the most hopefully I've ever hoped, this will be the last update video I ever have to fucking do. I can't imagine anything of what I've said here will change, but again, I really can't promise you that either. So, I'll see you when I see you. Okay, bye.